I watched a video of you, Gary, doing peekaboo, and I thought, I'm going to try that, because at the time I had pain in my shoulder. I'll never forget it. I was in my bedroom. I was following you on video. I did peekaboo. I come back up. I was walking around the house upstairs and the pain had completely gone. And it was only on the walk I thought, the pain's gone. And I was like, okay, this is something. But then I noticed the pain started coming back. So I played with peekaboo a bit and I held the peekaboo position for longer and the pain went for longer. And I was like, right, I'm loving this. So then, being a Scorpio, I started going on YouTube and all the things.
The maneuver that you started with is peekaboo. Being a Scorpio,
yeah.
Lurking in the dark, looking at things, peekaboo is the most appropriate. Like, you can't write that stuff.
So I started bringing up all your videos and I was like, oh, quite like this. And then I can't actually remember how I found the lifestyle artist link. I think it may have been on your social media somewhere. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did. I thought, this is helping me. It's doing something to me. I want to see what happens if I do this program. And I kind of came into it with a bit of an open mind and thought, you know, what have I got to lose? Let's give it a go.
You know, Claire, it's been good getting to know you. The time that we have gotten to know you, you've come through our Lifestyle Artist program. You've been around our program for a while. And we wanted to meet with you today because of what's recently happened with you. It's a life-changing, it's life-changing when I get a diagnosis, but it's even more life-changing when I get another one that says I'm okay. And that's what you received here recently. So let's start at the top and just give a little bit of background as to, you know, who you are, what you do for a living, a little bit about context of your life, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I would say my kind of psychic abilities, if you like, I had my awakening when I was 19. I got extremely poorly and ended up in hospital. And the doctors told my parents I had an hour to live. And that hour was really crucial. And if I fell into a coma, I won't come back out of it. Within that hour, all I remember is meeting spirit. I don't remember what was being said. I just remember a lot of chatter going on. And then right before I woke up, all I remember hearing was, it's not her time yet, she's going back. That's all I remember. And then the next minute I'm waking up like this, asking for a drink, talking normal. And the doctors can't understand it. They said, you're not meant to be sitting up and talking like that. You've just nearly lost your life. And I said, well, I feel fine. Can I go home? They said, not at the moment, no. So I'd say my awakening kind of happened then. And then the only way I can explain it is it got so strong I couldn't ignore it anymore. Like I just had, and I still got it, this big sense of knowing. I just know things. Like if I'm reading for somebody, I just know. It comes in and it's like bang, and spirit are talking through me. It's very quick. I work very quick with spirit. And then it kind of went off a bit when I had Joshua. Obviously, I was a parent. I was still with the kid's dad at the time. And I think mum life kind of took over. So I kind of slipped out of it again. And then it started coming back, and it got so strong that I couldn't ignore it. And then I had Lily, and the same sort of process happened. And then it come back, and it got so strong I couldn't ignore it again. So at that point, I thought, right, I'm just going to try and read for other people and see what happens. I started going to spiritual fairs and tapping into it more. But I still felt a little bit lost, because even though I was using my psychic abilities and reading, it didn't feel right. And I kept being told by other readers, you've got golden hands. And at the time I was like, what does that mean, golden hands? I don't understand it. Now I understand it. I'm meant to be a healer, but at the time I didn't get it. And then I thought I'll try and, you know, kind of research healing, go about that and see if I kind of like it. I did a Reiki master course, so I'm a Reiki master, and it just clicked from there with the healing journey.
Is that because the Reiki course gave you some structure to the to the things that you were experiencing, because you were experiencing channeling of some sort. Was that what happened?
Yeah, I think after I did the Reiki, everything just kind of clicked into place of energy I was feeling. I'm very sensitive to energy, so I will pick up on collective energy, my own energy. So the Reiki kind of helped me kind of establish what was my energy and what was other people's energy. So like now I will tap into my own energy before I do any spiritual work to see where I'm at and gauge where I'm at. Then any other energy that comes in, I know that's not mine, it's somebody else's, because I could never kind of distinguish the two. So I've kind of done a lot of work of trying to connect with my body to know what's mine and what isn't. So if that makes sense.
A lot of people are coming to you to for like, what is the primary reason that people actually come to you?
Now, where I am now, I help people remove trauma from the body energetically. Okay, that's basically the bottom line.
Right. Okay, so so the obvious question is, I mean, I get this all the time myself, is that, so you're a healer. You know, like, what did you think was going on in your body? You got a diagnosis at one point. When did you get the diagnosis of rheumatoid arthritis?
Rheumatoid arthritis was when I was 29. So 10 years ago.
Wow. Interesting. So right on your Saturn return, you get a diagnosis, and that's the one to face. Well, I mean, there's some karmic stuff there, I'm sure. So how did you feel about it? Because when I was working as technically as a healer, I was in a clinic, I would feel guilty sometimes because I was talking to people about issues that I had myself. And did any of that come up for you? Or?
To begin with, if I'm being honest, I tried to push it away and I couldn't really talk about it. I got upset a lot. I felt, I don't know what the word is, maybe a bit useless, because I was 29. I've been diagnosed with this rheumatoid arthritis. In my mindset was I shouldn't have this at 29. So I had a really hard time trying to actually adapt to it. At the time, I was getting a lot of pain. And right then, if I'm being completely honest, I couldn't see a way out. Even though I tapped into my spiritual side, I hadn't fully tapped into healing.
So that's that's a really good question. So, and I think it's important because there's an expectation that from the world that if I'm a healer, that I'm healed. But that's not the truth necessarily. I'm a facilitator for people's healing, which I know that you are. Yes. So when you got the diagnosis and you decided to push it away, when was it that first of all, what was the pains that you were having that brought you in? The first part, like, what did it look like in your life? How did it show up, and why did you go in the first place to get a diagnosis?
So I went to the doctors to begin with because I kept getting pain in my right knee. Okay. And it was quite pounding there. And at the time where I was working, I was up and down stairs a lot. So I thought it was because I was up and down stairs a lot, but the pain didn't go. And I think you've seen the pictures of my knees. My knees just went up like a balloon. So I was like, okay, something's going on here. And that's why I went to the doctors, and then they run the blood tests and so whatever.
That was 10 years ago, but yes. I saw a picture of your knees like 3 months ago, and changed dramatically very fast. What happened?
To be honest, I started being mindful of my day-to-day activities to begin with, and how I was talking to myself. I wanted to get my mindset on board. So rather than saying like, oh, I've got pain again today, I'd say my body's healing. And I started changing the narrative on it, because I would say to people, oh, my pain's really bad. So I was like, right, I need to change my words, because words manifest as well. So I started using words like, I'm working on my healing, because saying I wanted my body to heal felt too far stretched for me, and that didn't feel right in my body. So I started off with saying I'm working on healing my body. And then over time, as I started getting more results, I then started to believe that I could heal.
What was your impression of the diagnosis? And when you got it, were you scared? Were you...
I was scared more than anything, because I thought, what does my future look like? I didn't know how it was going to go, because all I knew at the time was I was being pounded with pain. And I thought, wow, if I'm like this now, what am I going to be like in 10 years' time? But here we are in 10 years' time.
So you're a healer. You're working with people. You're dealing with your own healing. You have 2 teenage children or 2 young children. How old are they now?
Joshua's 14 in September and Lily's 9.
And you're a single mom?
Yes.
How long have you been a single mom?
4 years.
4 years. And congratulations for doing what you do, because you're a single mom, self-employed. You've gone out, you've already taken big steps to make a difference in your life. So you had the diagnosis, you ran into Human Garage. How did you find us? What was...
I find you on TikTok, because I'm on TikTok, and I was scrolling one day and one of your videos come up and I felt instantly drawn to it. Like intuitively, I knew there was something with it. So to begin with, I didn't do anything with it because I got in my head a little bit and I thought, I'll just watch these guys for a little bit, see what they're doing. And then I watched a video of you, Gary, doing peekaboo. Yeah. And I thought, I'm going to try that, because at the time I had pain in my shoulder. I'll never forget it. I was in my bedroom. I was following you on video. I did peekaboo. I come back up. I was walking around the house upstairs and the pain had completely gone. And it was only on the walk I thought, the pain's gone. And I was like, okay, this is something. But then I noticed the pain started coming back. So I played with peekaboo a bit and I held the peekaboo position for longer and the pain went for longer. And I was like, right, I'm loving this. So then, being a Scorpio, I started going on YouTube and all the things.
Well, being a Scorpio,
you know,
peekaboo is the maneuver that you started with is peekaboo. Being a Scorpio,
yeah.
Hiding in the lurking in the dark, looking at things. Peekaboo is the most appropriate. Like, you can't write that stuff.
So I started bringing up all your videos, and I was like, oh, I quite like this. And then I can't actually remember how I found the lifestyle artist link. I think it may have been on your social media somewhere. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And that's what I did. I thought, this is helping me. It's doing something to me. I want to see what happens if I do this program. And I kind of came into it with a bit of an open mind and thought, you know, what have I got to lose? Let's give it a go.
So the first thing that I really saw of you in the transformation was a video of your knee healing. Now, was your knee basically swollen almost every day?
My knee was like that constantly. For
how long? 10 years?
Yeah.
And then you took those pictures. Those pictures were from the power perk, I think?
Yes, yeah.
So the first time I visually saw your healing was you had taken a picture of a 1 hour later of power perk.
It was crazy. I was like watching my knees and they were going down like every 10 minutes. Like I was watching and I was like, oh my word, like just like watching them in real time, just like shrink. I was like, wow, like I've got normal knees now. It's like unreal.
So part of it is, did that, taking the power perk, you saw instant reaction in your body. Did that give you more belief in what you're doing?
Yes.
Right.
Because I thought, you know what, this is really possible. Like,
right.
I think it was that moment I thought, you know what, I can heal myself. And other psychics have been saying to me, you're going to heal yourself. But I never fully embodied it until that knee picture. And I thought, I'm onto something here. I'm doing something.
I love that, because I've dealt with a lot of psychics, a lot of channelers. They're like, yeah, you've got this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, right. It's easy for you to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're living with it. Yeah. So you're taking the power perk, your knee starts to change. Then that's about the time that you're going into lifestyle, right before you went into lifestyle artist program. So,
yeah, it was pretty much right before, wasn't it?
So when you came into the program, what were you expecting compared to what you got? Like when you showed up first day, what did you think?
To be honest, I come in with an open mind. I didn't really put any expectations on it. I just thought, I knew intuitively I can learn things from these guys. I can learn more about myself. I can learn more about my body. I can learn more about my everyday life. Like even the way that I just think about things is different. Like I just see life in a completely different way. And that's probably one of the biggest things you guys have done for me, just seeing things differently, seeing life differently, and knowing life is worth living and you can have a good life. And that's pretty much where I'm at now.
Now Because people don't understand healing who haven't been in a healing crisis. You still have pains and stuff like that day to day. You're not perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on a scale of 1 to 10 on how you felt about your pain in your life, 10 being the most pain, the most discomfort, the most dysfunction, where were you, let's say, 6 months ago, and where are you today? If you aggregate everything.
6 months ago, I was probably about a 7, 8, because I was getting flare-ups. Like, I'd go fine and then I'd get a flare-up. Now I'm like a 1. I honestly feel so good. I don't really get pain. My life has just changed. That's the only way I can put it.
And if you get pain, is it different than when you got pain before?
Yes, it's not immense pain.
Yeah,
not by far.
So for me, when I had pain before, even when I was in the clinic, when I had human garage at clinic, if I wasn't able to get to my people to help me, I felt helpless. Today, if I get pain, I'm like, oh, I still get a little bit of, oh, that sucks. But I also have right away, I know I can work it out. I know I can get through it. Is that kind of where you're at?
For me now, if I get pain, it's my body indicating that something needs to come up, something needs to be healed. So I'm a bit like, bring it on.
Give me more.
Because I know something wants to come up, or there's a bit of a trauma that wants to come up. So I'm like, let's do it.
Right. Yeah, bring it on. It's like, when I know I can handle it, it's like, okay, next.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just shifting at hyper speed at the minute. It's just like boom, 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 boom. I'm just going.
Okay, so your perspective of what you do in your practice as compared to before, how has that changed because of what you've gone through and what and your
results with your clients?
Yeah.
I think, if I'm being completely honest, I'm a lot more confident in what I do now because I've done the work myself. And I always said I would do the work myself to help other people heal. So when I'm speaking to other people now, I know 100% they can heal themselves.
Right. So
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Super powerful.
Very, very powerful. So you decided, did you just go back to the doctor, or was it a random checkup, or was this part of a schedule?
It was, I usually have yearly blood tests, but because of COVID, I haven't had blood tests for 2 years. So now things have opened up again here and we're pretty much back to normal. They called me up and said, we want to run your blood tests. And I purposely went because I know I'm doing this work. So I wanted to see what my bloods were doing. I didn't expect this, I'll be completely honest. I thought, yeah, they would have come down, but I didn't expect them to say normal, no action,
You have it there?
all over the sheet.
You have it there? Do you have it in front of you? So what does that sheet say?
It's just constantly normal, no action, normal, no action.
And so since you're not normal, you're special. That sheet just says you're special. And normal just means that, in this particular way, is that you had a diagnosis. It was clinically diagnosed. You've been on this disease process for 10 years. And over the course of 3 months or less, sometime in that range, you've been able to reverse your disease process, and you have the medical evidence of the reversal.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel right now?
I just feel amazing. I feel so good. And I feel like life is only just getting started. And I know I'm 39, but I just feel like I've got so much more to look forward to. I don't feel scared anymore. Like I said, if I get pain, I'm like, bring it on, because I know the other side is good. I'm just ready for like a kind of a new cycle of life, if that makes sense.
So the moment you opened up the results, because they came to you in the mail, right?
I phoned the doctors and they give them me over the phone. Then I actually went in the surgery to get these.
Oh, right. Sure. You're determined.
Well, I'm a Scorpio, aren't I? It's got to be.
Oh, that's fabulous. So we're wrapping up here, but is there anything that you want to say to people about your journey and what happened to the Lifestyle Artist program? Like, what was it that switched for you? Because we believe that it's the emotional and the perceptual that changes the physical body, and you're evidence of that, because very few people ever reverse that diagnosis. So what would you want to say to somebody who's looking at this, coming in for the first time? What would you want to tell them?
Do you know what I would say? Even if you feel a bit unsure and you're like, will this work? Go into it with an open mind like I did. Because I think once you start, even if you just dip your toes in a little bit, once you start doing just a few maneuvers, you feel a difference in your body. And that's what happened for me. Then I thought, okay, something's going on here. I want to find out if I do a few more maneuvers, or I research a bit more about mindset. I want to see what happens then. And then as I got deeper into it, I got more and more results. And then that spurs you on to do more. So I would say come into it with an open mind. Let the results speak for themselves. You don't have to force anything. It'll naturally happen.
Perfect. So, so just last question on the way out the door. How many people come to you and say, you're a psychic, you should know, and I want to be healed and I'm broke. Can you give me the numbers for the lottery this week?
People know we don't go there. Claire doesn't go there. Boundaries.
I know as soon as somebody understands that there's an ability, it's like, hey, come over here. Can I whisper in your ear? What about this?
I've had a few people say, well, you should know. And I'm like, just because I'm psychic doesn't mean to say I know everything.
Yeah, it's like
not the way.
One of the things is like calling up a psychic. It's like the first thing they ask, who is this? And it's like, well, you should know you're a psychic.
Exactly. It's like, no, but I don't always know. I've got a strong sense of knowing, to be fair, I have. But just not to say I know every single thing.
Yeah.
I wish I would.
Oh, Claire, you're beautiful. Appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate you for all the work you've been doing for a decade to help everybody. We appreciate you for speaking up and sharing your story. We appreciate you for doing the actual work, because a lot of people come in and think it's just a physical thing, but you've been doing the emotional thing. You've been talking, you've been sharing in our community, helping other community members. And so hopefully people that are watching this will get a chance to come into the community and you'll get a chance to touch and impact their lives the way you have for us.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys as well.
You definitely
I feel emotional now if you say that. I'm like, whoa.
Hey, Claire.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.